Alright, welcome to the stream. Today I'm working on my Gothic cityscape painting. I'm super excited about this one. This is the little color study that I did like a week ago. And then I got just super invested in my Dungeon Crawler Carl piece. But we're back to this one. Excited to make some progress on it. Think it's going to be really cool. Super pumped. Just getting some colors ready. What's up, what's up? Really? Is that how big my chat's going to be? I can hardly see that. Hold on, I'm gonna have to pull up Twitch on my computer. There we go. Now I can see my chat. Alright. Got red, I've got that light turquoise color. Where is my dark turquoise color? This one. This one. How am I doing? I'm good. I just spent so much time working on that Dungeon Crawler Carl piece. And it completely consumed my life for the last week. So I'm excited to be working on something different. I've been like obsessively checking the scoring on that Dungeon Crawler piece, and I've been just trying to keep up and trying to advertise it as much as possible. And so yeah, I'm just, you've been checking it too? Nice. Yeah. I'm excited to be on to something new and something a little bit different. Thinking about putting a layer of oil paint over this one. Yeah, this one is a commission. Just a little bit of linseed oil or something. This one's a commission for, this is an interior book illustration, so it's not the cover of a book, but it's going in a book. Which is still pretty cool. Pretty cool. Growing a book collection. Alright, so I'm just putting a little bit of oil on this. You see what happens when we just put a little tiny bit. Yeah, there's a little bit going on there. You can't probably see it too well on the camera, but oh, is the iPad gonna fall? Maybe. Yeah, this is something that Dan was telling Sharon Dan. Well, my dad's name is Dan, and my mom's name is Sharon. I've never done that before. That's embarrassing. I always make fun of people who call Shannon Sharon. Just watching Jake. Hi, Aaron. Maybe it's because I looked over at Jake's text in the chat as I was saying Shannon. We make fun of people all the time. We're calling Shannon Sharon. The freaking wedding officiator at our wedding called her Sharon in front of everyone with my mom there and everything. And it was just, everyone made fun of him. And did his class go good last night? Yeah, it went really well. Shannon was actually like, she was struggling pretty hard with her painting yesterday. She was just feeling like it wasn't very good, and she was feeling all kinds of imposter syndrome and okay, this might not be able to go here. I've got my reference on my iPad. Lucas on YouTube. Oh, sick. Yo, what's up, Lucas? How's it going? Sorry, my chat is like super tiny on my screen, so I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, the chat's like super tiny, and I'm not streaming from the iPad anymore. I think that was causing some issues. But I'm streaming from Streamlabs on my phone. I figured if I'm still gonna be dealing with the same stuff on the Streamlabs, I might as well just use my phone. It's a little easier to mount up on the thing and all that. So if anyone is curious what I'm doing, I'm currently putting just like a little tiny drop of linseed oil on my canvas, and this is just gonna make the oil paint slide around just a little tiny bit better. So I'm about to just go heavy with oil paint here. I've got the block end done. I've got like the underpainting. This is kind of like a Brunet value study. So I'm just trying to get this like really thin even coat. I'm looking at it from like a weird angle so I can get the light casting across it, so I can make sure that got everything covered. That should do it. Yeah, now we're just gonna go straight in with oils and see what happens. So I'm going to kind of wet down my brush a little bit. I'm gonna try using one of these like bigger mop brushes. I'm gonna try and paint a little thicker for this painting. I think it would look really cool with some thick paint. I was looking at this one artist's work, and his stuff is just amazing. He's gonna be the guest of honor at Gen Con this year. That's like just thick oil paint. Did you make a sketch with a pencil first, or just go in with paints at the beginning? I made a sketch with pencil first. Yeah, this is Rob Ray, and I want to not like this same painting, but the way that he uses paint and light is just awesome. This is my reference that I'm working off of. And I made this in Blender based off of... Oh, oops. I made this in Blender based off of this, which is my sketch that I did just on paper. Let's see if I can get this iPad to stay up there. And I want to get a time lapse on the GoPro. That's mainly for the client. All right, and then I wanted some nice, yeah. Get some liquid on here. Trying to be less stingy with my paint. That was the main thing that I realized from my Dungeon Crawler Carl piece was that it was just like all of the paint was just really thin. It's just a lot of really thin paint. Alright, so I think I will go in with red first. There's going to be quite a bit of red in this piece. And most of like the bright parts in here are going to be red. So I'm just going to start like splashing this red around. And it's going to look kind of crazy at first. And that is okay. Most of the painting is going to get covered in a lot of this red. I'm going to use a lot of red and black. And just kind of smoosh that around. But the black is going to be more of a blue. It's going to be kind of a Payne's gray. Paint's definitely going on easier with that layer of linseed oil, that's for sure. Having sketches of paint when I finish my art. See the pencils yet? It bothers me a lot. I think the same solution. You have some advice? Yeah, just what I found is that just painting thicker, painting with more thick paint usually helps. And then, like, if you can go in with an acrylic underpainting first and try and paint with opaque thick paint with your underpainting. If you're doing an acrylic underpainting, that helps a lot. That's what I found helps quite a bit. But sometimes it's okay to have some of that pencil showing through. Sometimes it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it gives you some more of those details that you painted in, that you put the work in. You can actually see them. That was one of the things that Shannon was struggling with last night with her painting, was she was able to see so many pencil lines, and I was like, well, no, that's actually, like, it's actually a good thing, because now you know what you're doing, now you know where to go with it. And now you can actually see what you're doing. Yeah, I sat in on Dan's class. I see, yes. I sat in on Dan's class as Shannon was watching that last night. I was just trying to soak everything up. He spent freaking 3 hours. He spent 3 hours just ranting about how bad the art industry is right now, and about how, like, working for Wizards of the Coast and painting magic cards is like, it's like the thing you should be least excited about, because they're screwing artists over so hard, and they're like trying to get it to where like artists can't sell playmats and prints of their stuff, and about like how if anyone is planning on painting for Wizards, they need to like boycott their crazy rules, and they need to stand up and say no, and they need to like put up a fight and start a revolution and all this. And like, if he was like, if every artist just starts saying no, and if every artist starts saying like, no, you can't can't take away our play mats, and you can't take away our prints, and you can't take away our original oil paintings, and then they'll stop and they'll actually listen. And yeah, he was just trying so hard to convince everyone to, like, don't worry about wizards, and don't make that like your life aspiration to paint for wizards and all that. And because he's like, you should just go and paint for like Orbit Books, and you should try and get with Brandon Sanderson and Brotherwise Games. And I'm like, that's what I'm trying to do, okay? That's what I would absolutely love to get with Tor Books and Brandon Sanderson and all that. Like, but they're freaking hard to convince to give you work. Like, I feel like my stuff is like pretty solid. Like, I feel like I've put a lot of work in to getting my quality good, and I still can't get their attention. My pencil's a mess when I paint because I do more gesture painting and do energetic and natural. Think more about it now. Yeah. See, I wish I was looser with my pencils and with my sketching and all that. I feel like I really handicapped myself by painting so tight. But yeah, Dan ranted for so long. Like, Shannon was sitting there just dying because she just wanted to go to bed. Like, he didn't even start critiques until 9:30. Which is crazy. The class is supposed to end at 9:30. Okay, using Payne's gray, red. Make some really dark areas. Get some clouds in here. I'm just being like, trying to be really loose and abstract with these. Yeah, the critiques ended up going until like 11:30. Shannon was getting so frustrated. Just like, Dan, please. But yeah, he was talking about like the heritage of the art industry, and like where he came from and how art industry was back in the day, and it's all really cool knowledge. But like, yeah, it was definitely one of those, like, teacher was just really passionate about something and wanted to talk about it, and yeah, was not considering the students' time. Which, like, most people were probably fine with that because it's Dan and they wanted to hear what he had to say, but Shannon was just already struggling so hard. But he loved her painting. Like, when they finally got to her critique, he loved it. That made her feel a lot better. Because she was so upset. Like, she wasn't, like, upset. She was having a really hard time feeling confident with her brunette. Like, she did a brown underpainting on hers, and she had it looking really, really good. But she was not feeling super confident in it, and so yeah, by the time she finally got to show him, he was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, what don't you like about this? She's like, well, it looks so messy. And he's like, yeah, you're in the ugly phase of your painting. You wanna know why it's ugly? Because it's in the ugly phase. Just go paint it. Been described it to so many people. Nice. Yeah, she's doing a really good job with it. Looks really, really good. This sky is looking pretty interesting so far. Just kind of scrubbing this blue all over the place and trying to be really loose with the brush strokes, and It's pretty nice. And once I get this castle in here, that's going to be really cool. I think doing that layer of linseed oil on here was definitely a good idea. Who's your favorite artist? Do your references? I'm curious to know. Kind of hidden curiosity. No, it should be hidden. Every artist should be willing to share their inspirations, and so lately, the people who I've been looking up to the most. The piece that I started last night was really inspired by the work of AJ Manzanito. He's amazing. He does magic cards, he does like comic book covers, he does everything. His work is super dope. Yeah, AJ Manzanito is one that's been on the top of my inspiration list lately. And then I love Ryan Pancoast's work. This stuff is just crazy good. Ryan Pancoast has a YouTube channel where he shares time lapse of his stuff, and that's super freaking cool. Also really like Chris Ron. Chris Ron paints a lot of dragons for Magic the Gathering, so naturally I look at his work a lot when I'm designing my own dragons, like when I'm doing my mail club and stuff like that. When I'm working on one of those, I look at Chris Ron's work a lot. RHAN. But the people who really got me started with painting, I'd say, would be Kevin Hill. Like, he's kind of lost some of his popularity and some of his mojo, but back in the day, like, Kevin Hill was my hero. Kevin Oil Painting on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel that he shares tutorials on. And so I've learned a lot from that guy. Kevin Hill pretty much taught me how to paint. And then same with Andrew Titchler. I've actually got some of his prints on my wall right now. This is one of Andrew Titchler's. This is one of his business cards, but I just hang it on my wall as a print. He does insanely detailed, realistic oil paintings of landscapes and portraits and animals. This guy taught me a lot about oil painting as well. He's actually from New Zealand. And there we go. When I went to New Zealand a few months ago, I got to stop at Andrew Titchler's gallery. I missed him by an hour. I'm like freaking in New Zealand visiting one of my heroes' galleries, and he was there an hour ago, and I just barely missed him. I was so sad. So sad. See, that is looking good. Let's get some more Payne's gray and blue. Let's do some of these railings. That's the first one. AJ Manzanito. He's real active on Facebook and Instagram, I believe. That's where I follow him the most. Been really inspired by his dragons lately. just started working on my April print club piece. I can actually pull up the sketch for you guys if you'd like to see. There is a there is the return of a lovable character happening in this one. Let me see, dang it. What the heck? Okay. Yeah, there is. So this is Tony, and this is a new character. His name is Beans. Yes, we are getting a very happy Tony riding on Beans. I just thought Beans would be a fun name for a really happy looking dragon. And I started on the 3D render of Beans as well. Yeah, so I worked on that while listening to dance class last night. Yeah. Tony is making a return. W Tony, I know, right? What's up, lady? Tony is making a return. Figured I could add new characters to the Painted Dragon Studioverse, or I could just paint some more with some classic old reliables, you know. There we go. Yeah, what's up, Saucy? And yeah, what you up to, Leighton? How you doing today? Need to get stairs. The Dragonsteel Nexus apps are supposed to open today. I'm a bit sore from working on Suburban. Oof. Yeah, you worked on that all day yesterday. Nice to see you too, Lucas. I'm gonna polishing up your drop. Nice. Nice. Alright, got those steps in there. Let's see about getting darken this up, thin it down. I'll get some of these stones back here kind of painted in a little bit. Looks pretty good. This fountain. Trying to be loose but not too messy with this. And maybe let's start on the top of the buildings. Eggplant enthusiast is here. What's up? How's it going? Put the baby down for a nap. Nice. Good job. Grandma's watching. Hi, Grandma. Hope you're having a good day. Getting the cityscape blocked in. Once I can get all these basic like main shapes in, I can start going in with like smaller brushes and start brushing in some of those details. We are not ready for details yet. Now we're just trying to brush in these basic values. Trying to get some more of this like purpley blue in there. That'll look nice. I want to get this lighting looking really good too. Do that just by adding these shadows in there. Those end up looking really nice. Got some gargoyles up there too. I actually sculpted a gargoyle for this scene. And I put him here, here, and here. Hold on, gotta go let the puppy inside. He's outside right now. Yeah. Good prank. Up to 183 votes. Knows how to check. Nice. That is exciting. We're like halfway there. The top winning pieces right now. You have 7 days to give votes. We're on day 2 of 7. So we still have another 6 days to get some more votes for that painting, which is pretty exciting. So we're about halfway to where the top voted piece is right now. Top voted ones have about 300-ish. I think there might be one with almost 400, but almost a 200 is pretty good. That is pretty good. Grandma uses a cell phone. Yeah. I have an aunt that uses she just got a cell phone, so I'm proud of her. Of course, that's a new experience for her. She wanted to learn. I love that. Thanks for learning with my painting. That's really nice of you. Okay, I need to get this moon in here. And I need to not go crazy with the red. Bravery test. That doesn't look too bad. At the start. All right, and we need our castle back here. It's also going to have a lot of red. Start with just kind of this wash of red and turquoise. I'm going to go in and sharpen up the peaks of some of those cityscape towers and all that. Add some shadows in there. Kind of cool. Nice. A bit more blue back here. Now we can kind of see that cityscape back there, and then the buildings are up closer. I like that. I was friends with the original Lord of the Rings Swedish translator. Tell me about him. That's cool. That is really cool. That is a pretty neat fact. I think at this point, having just about any connection with anything Lord of the Rings is gonna impress me. Looks nice. He did a bad job, so I lost some respect for him. That's the translator married and divorced one of her best friends and another friend. Oh no! Oh no! That is not good. Some more of these clouds. Tolkien famously did not like the translation. Aw. Yikes. Big yikes. this point we've got most of the canvas covered. Now we just need to start getting some cohesiveness to the whole piece. Need to pinpoint some of those really bright red areas and then kind of push back some of the darker areas and just kind of see what happens. More red up there. Inspired her to learn English as a teenager. She could read the original. Nice. It's a pretty cool reason to learn English. Just to read Tolkien. That's awesome. This like really bright red up here in the clouds. I think I want to try and lean into that a little bit more. Big clouds up top, smaller ones as we get closer to the horizon. Nice. They're pretty good. Let's see. Start tossing around some like brick color. Got quite a bit up here. We can just start kind of throwing this up here. Bless you, lady. Do love painting something that shaped her childhood, made her happy to learn. Aw. Yeah. Painting Tolkien stuff has been the thing that I've done the most of for the last several years. A lot of Tolkien-inspired artwork. A lot of it. Nice. I hope she liked it. Doggy's being so good. She wants to know what's the most special piece to you, Tolkien piece, and your wife. I have this painting called Onward to Adventure. Let's see if I can find a print of it. Yeah, this piece right here. I absolutely love this one. So my grandpa got me into Tolkien. My grandpa read The Hobbit to me and my sisters when we were just kids. And yeah, I had this piece in mind for years before I had the confidence to try and pull it off and really do this one justice. I think I did. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, I really like this one. That one's special to me just because my grandpa read The Hobbit to me, and so that's one that I just had always wanted to paint. I finally did. And it has become one of my most popular prints as well, which also makes me happy. That was my favorite too. Nice. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. And Shannon has this one. She calls it The End of All Things. It's actually a pencil drawing. Here. Take it down and then I'll put it back up. This is her pencil drawing of Sam and Frodo. This is when Sam says, like, "Do you remember the taste of strawberries, Mr. Frodo?" And Frodo goes, I don't think I do, Sam." And he gives this just beautiful, heartwarming speech that ends with, "I'm glad I'm here with you, Sam. At the end of all things." Oh, so good. And then the eagles swoop in and save him, and it's beautiful. Struggling to hang it back up. Yeah, that's the original painting. It's the kind of drawing she does. Nice. Yeah, I think that's probably Shannon's favorite Tolkien-inspired piece. Really dark red up here. More blue. That one come up over the edge a little bit. looks pretty good. So he's big for drawing pencils as a kid. They teach you the whole tree's worth. 500 pencils and tied them together into a bag. That's amazing. I love that. Whole tree's worth of pencils. I probably got a whole tree's worth of paintbrushes down here. Missed out. I think he did. The red in this, yeah, I think that's probably the best part about this piece right now. It's got, I think the color study was really helpful. So tried out a bunch of different color scheme, or not color schemes, but like different vibes. And this is the one we're going off the most. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. Just gotta darken a bunch of stuff up. For that, I'll need to just end up grabbing a smaller brush. So is one of y'all traveling right now? Is one of y'all out and about? You said that like Luke went on a walk with the grandma and that you missed it. Is one of you guys traveling? Are you all out and about, away from home, or away from your current living situations? Just on FaceTime, come to the phone and watch the baby. Ah, that was nice of him. Just on a walk on FaceTime. I was like, wait, is Luke in Sweden right now? He didn't even tell me. That makes more sense. I guess you did, he said. I need to center myself with the meditation help of Tony the Frog. Love that. More red. Does that mean hi, Tony? Or is that praise Tony? If that's praise Tony, I'm gonna laugh so hard. It's praise Tony. Oh man, that's hilarious. That is so fun. Trying to get this like really like bright bloom effect going on. I think the sun, or sorry, the moon still needs a bit more red. That looks a little better. This is a fantasy world, so it's okay if this moon doesn't look just like our moon. It gives our moon vibes, but it's not actually our moon. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. We got this nice kind of gate down here area. We need some really bright areas. We got some more luminance, more bright stuff happening, but still red. Who are the people? How much do you know about the book? I haven't read this book yet. This is book 3. I read the first half of book 1 on my way home from, I think it was on my way home from Emerald City Comic Con. So these people they're in a world where monsters have taken over the world, and they have to go into a cave and fight their way through this cavern. And if they survive the cavern, then they emerge out of the cavern with magical powers. So one of them becomes like a super strong warrior dude, and one of them, I believe she gets like teleportation powers. So this is the guy and the girl who get those special powers, and in this scene they're sneaking through a vampiric city. So the city is ruled by vampires, from what I understand. Again, I haven't read the 3rd book. And I don't really know how much I'm supposed to say. I never even asked the dude if I could live stream this. So hopefully he's fine with that. But yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Little round brush instead of a big round brush. Let's make a nice dark red so we can start. What the series is called? It's called the Grimnir Chronicles by Brady. What's his last name? Brady, what's his name? I'm blanking up. Yeah, Hunsaker. That's it. You got it. Embarrassing. You told me before, I just forgot. Yeah. I absolutely forgot. I remember most of it, I just couldn't remember his last name. especially need the top edge and like near the tops of the buildings. I need the most detail around there. So that this cityscape can kind of stand out from the rest of the scene. Ichor of Dudland. The third book comes out October 13th. Nice. Yeah, I just know I had a deadline of end of April so that he could get the good scanned file in and get it printing. And yeah, this dude's cool. He puts a lot of thought into the artwork for his books. Like that's like his biggest selling factor, is that not only is it a dope novel, but it's also got just tons of artwork in it. Like he tries to have like a character illustration for most of the main characters, and then like the covers are really good. The guy that does the covers is awesome. He doesn't even need me for those. He's just like, yeah, I've already got the covers covered. But the books are also full of interior illustrations as well. So like most of the main characters have their own illustration. Most of the really cool scenes have an illustration. And this dude, like, he drops money on art. Not like per artist, but he drops a lot of money in general on lots of art. I think he hires tons of different artists. So I'm actually doing this one for quite a bit less than I would normally do a cover for. Or not a cover, but a project. But that's okay, because I'm just having fun with this one. I just wanted to be part of it. He's a nice dude, and I met him in person, and I was like, yeah, I'll do something for you. Kind of just, I'll take whatever your rate is, but I also keep the original painting. So if I do something like that, I make sure that the contract is pretty heavily swayed in my favor, and that like he gets the rights to be able to print it on his covers and all that, or inside of his books, but that's about it. And I, as the artist, keep all of my rights to the painting as well. So like I could go and make prints of this painting, and I can make play mats, and I can sell it on my own online shop and all that. So if he ever for some reason had a problem with that, I could just point to my contract and be like, well, you signed my contract saying that I can do whatever I want with this painting. So, which honestly, this one is gonna make a pretty dope playmat. I've had a hold request since March 4th and still not available. It's popular. Nice. Yeah, no, he has sold a lot of copies, which is, again, that's one of the reasons why I took this project, is because he is doing really well, and he's putting a lot of work into his social media ads, and so I did think it would be a pretty cool project to be a part of. I'm also excited to start having like a stack of books on my table, or like a little display of covers that I've done. So I'd like to have just like a copy of each book that I've done a cover for or artwork for, and have them like on a little display thing. Like maybe I'll make a little bookshelf or something that travels with me to my display at my booth, and just to like show people, hey, these are illustrations of mine that I've done for authors and for different publishers and whatever. So like my Lion's Roar painting, I'll have actually a couple of signed copies of that one with me. He said he was sending me a few copies, which is pretty cool. Make this gate look a little bit bigger. Little bookshelf sounds fun. Yeah, just something small that is kind of off to the side, but it's like if people ask, do you do commissions? I can just point down at those and be like, well, yes, this is some work that I've done. That looks cool. Having that little, this area right here, I love that. That looks really cool. And then some of these pillars, I need like areas of highlight showing through. Kind of indication of bricks. Always start in the middle. How do I do that? There we go. Nice. My auto mod kicked in and blocked the little viewer bot thing. That's interesting. Didn't know that was a thing. Trick with a painting like this, where there's like a bunch of details off in the distance, is to try and get the indication of detail, like to keep all the sharp details up near the front, and then that's gonna make all the other stuff look really detailed, even though it's just scrubs of paint. Like it's not really anything, it's just kind of color splashed around. But because I put sharp details all up in this area, it's going to end up looking like it's actually detailed without it being detailed, which is just kind of cool. Just these like little sharp areas, just where it really counts. Yeah, I think this painting's gonna be really cool. little moments like that where there's just like a sharp edge on something. Just kind of sells the whole scene. It's a really bright red. This isn't in the reference really, but I'm just trying something down here. Just having like some more cast shadow here. 5 million on the tabletop. I know. I feel like I missed out so hard on that one too. It's the Stormlight RPG all over again for me, where I'm like, I feel like if I had tried a little harder, like a year, like if I had started trying for commercial work like a year earlier, that could have been me on that cover. Because, like, man, they're killing it. They are absolutely killing it. And people are like so excited to get their spot on that Kickstarter. Like, I joined all the Dungeon Crawler Carl Facebook groups and stuff like that so that I could share my painting for the contest thing. And like, man, and they're okay. This is a thing that I realized like yesterday. Dungeon Crawler Carl's marketing team are geniuses. They are brilliant. So like the Kickstarter itself is fantastic. Like that's such a smart way to get your thing out there. But the fact that they're also doing this threadless challenge, and by the way that they're doing this threadless challenge is like super cool towards artists. It was originally stated in their terms and conditions that the company would own your artwork, and that's why some people were messaging me being like, oh, you don't want to apply for that challenge, or you don't want to engage in that because they're going to own your artwork. There was a thing back like a month or two ago, like when they first announced the challenge, that said that if you upload your artwork, then they now own your painting or whatever. But they changed that because of the backlash. Because people on Reddit were like, hold on, I'm not going to submit a painting that I don't get to own anymore. They're like, you'd get the copyright just by me submitting it? No way. Because that's like a super predatory way for people or for companies to get free art. And a lot of companies engage in that, and it's pretty lame. They host an art contest, they get people to submit artwork, and then they put in the fine print that if you submit artwork, that they now own said artwork. But this one, they actually redacted that, and we're like, oh, you know what, actually it doesn't hurt us at all for people to make fan art. Why would we keep that? That's crazy. So yeah, they took that back, which is super cool of them. But no, the fact that they launched the Kickstarter when they did, they launched the art contest when they did, they partnered with a big apparel company, Threadless. I don't know a whole lot about it, but they obviously are doing well because they've got a lot of big artists on there creating like exclusive work for them. But the Threadless Challenge specifically, they are geniuses for that because they're going and getting artists to upload their designs. The artist has to make an account with Threadless to upload their stuff, and then they're saying, okay, this is a community voting project, so everyone who votes also has to make an account or has to log in through Google and give them their email. So Threadless is now collecting the emails of everyone who wants to vote for their favorite artist. And then they're getting people like me, which this is worth it to me, it's fine. They're getting people like me who have social media following to engage in their contest. And then I am now going and telling my followers, hey, go vote for my project, or go vote for my design on Threadless. So now all my followers are now going and making accounts with them. And it's brilliant. And it's like, it's very like targeted marketing and whatever, but like, I respect the hustle, man. Like they know what they're doing. Like, I was talking to someone yesterday, I was like, man, I need to figure out a way to like launch my own website this way by getting everyone on there and like sending just this huge, massive influx of traffic to this one place. Like it's brilliant. So I'm thinking about maybe doing my reviving my art short story contest challenge thing, because I'm about to launch my website. Me and my buddy Nicholas have been working on that, and we're getting it going. We're getting my email list set up to where I can start sending out emails to people who want to like keep up with my work. And yeah, the way the Threadless did that, and then like all of that is funneling around this Kickstarter, so there's so much hype around Dungeon Crawler Carl right now because all these artists are submitting designs, and the company is launching the Kickstarter. Everyone's talking about it. The Reddit is as busy as it's ever been, and they're using the social media following of content creators to boost the whole thing. And like I said, I respect the hustle. Like, that is just super smart. Been working on the site this week. Yep. Been working on getting the images scaled down to be web size so that the page will like load quickly on your phone and all that. The website will load quickly. And working on like deciding what kind of tabs we want at the top. Like, I want a gallery page, I want a bio page, I want a page that people can sign up for my print club, like straight through my website without having to log in through Patreon and all that. All they have to do is fill out their billing and shipping info, and that's it. Like, I don't want to have to deal with all this, like, oh, I have to log in through Patreon, and I have to, like, just to leave a comment, I have to do this. It's like, no, I don't want to deal with that. If someone wants to interact with my website, they should just need to log in, and that's it. Shouldn't need to be all these extra steps. That'll be great for the booth. Exactly. And I'm gonna have just a full landing page just for email newsletter sign up, and a full landing page just for print of the month sign up. So when I'm at the booth during checkout, before they start doing their thing to like pull out their card, I'm gonna start grabbing their prints. Like, when someone buys something at the booth, I'm gonna start grabbing their prints, and while I'm grabbing their prints, I'm gonna start telling them about my website. And I'm gonna be directing them down towards the iPad, which will be within arm's reach. They'll just have to reach down and be like, oh, and by the way, while I'm grabbing these, I have a newsletter sign up here. If you fill that out, I'll give you one of these free mini prints. and it's just going to be one of my little business cards, like I usually hand them anyway. But that's going to give them the incentive to, oh, I get a free thing if I just type in my email address. Awesome. So then I'm now collecting emails every sale, hopefully, that I can then plug my print of the month club thing. I can share my new paintings with people. I can know when I post something new or when I paint something new, and then that'll get the original painting collectors a bit more interested, because I'll be plugging my original paintings through there, and then on another page it'll be my print of the month thing. So while I'm telling them about the print of the month, I can just swipe over, like once they've signed up for the email newsletter, I can just swipe over to the print of the month thing, and then they can sign up from there, and they don't have to load up on their phone and all this. They just have to type in their billing and the shipping info, and it's done.
What's up?
You see my painting? It's pretty cool so far, huh? I'm trying to be a lot more loose and like paint thicker so that you can see like brush strokes. And
I need to project onto my painting.
go get the projector? Or do you want me to be done with this? So I can be done with this, and this could be the progress for today, and then the next layers could be.
Yeah.
I'm really liking this area over here. Trying to get it looking like the shadows casting. I think that the layers are about to be a bit too thick. Alright, I don't know if y'all could hear that, if the mic picked it up, but Shannon needs help with her project. And I think this is about at a point where actually I should let the layer dry. Come back in a day or two, work on it more. And this will give me time to start working on my new Tony and Beans piece. Yeah, I will end the stream now, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you all have a great day. That was a short, quick stream for you, but appreciate you being here, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.